Improvement pill here. Are you someone who spends hours tossing and turning in bed even though you know you have to wake up early tomorrow? You probably end up getting less sleep than what you need and you wake up feeling groggy and tired all day? Well, today I'm going to show you 3 tips that you've probably never heard of that will actually make a huge difference. So let's jump right into it. The first thing you have to do if you want to be able to fall asleep like a baby at night is to get sunlight in the morning. A study conducted by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine in 2013 took a look at day shift workers in multiple offices. They found that the workers who sat close to windows got on average 173% more sunlight throughout the day than those who did not. They then found that those same people who were receiving more sunlight were sleeping on average 46 minutes longer. The reason they slept so much longer was because their internal clock was running on time. What do I mean by this? Well, our body releases different hormones at different times throughout the day, often referred to as the circadian rhythm, or as I like to call it, the hormonal clock. In the morning, when sunlight hits the receptors in your skin and eyes, our body says, okay, it's the morning, it's time to release some cortisol. This is actually a good thing. It's kind of like our body's built-in coffee machine. It's what makes you feel awake and alert. It plays a role in your ability to focus and concentrate. Without it, you will feel tired even if you've had a full night of sleep. The problem nowadays is that people aren't getting enough sunlight in the morning to start the clock at the right time. We live in confined houses, often with curtains over our windows. We walk quickly to the train station or take our cars to work, where we spend the majority of the day in an office without any sunlight. This means that the cortisol that's supposed to be released early on in the morning isn't being released on time. Our internal clock is running late, and this affects what happens to us later on in the day. See, in the afternoon when the sun goes down, our body is supposed to start producing melatonin, which is often referred to as the sleep hormone. It's what makes us feel sleepy. Now, when your internal clock is running late, you start releasing melatonin at a later time. So instead of it starting at 8 p.m. when it's supposed to if you want to be able to fall asleep by 12, it starts at 10 p.m., which means you won't start feeling tired until 2 a.m. So the moment you wake up, make sure you open up all your blinds, sit next to the window while you get ready for the day, and let the natural sunlight hit your body. Try to get at least 20 to 30 minutes of sunlight in order to get your internal clock started on time. This will make sure that you'll start producing melatonin at the right time later on in the day so that you can fall asleep with ease when bedtime comes around. The second tip is something that might surprise a lot of you, but before we jump into that, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of today's video, Anson Belt. I'll be honest with you guys, this doesn't have anything to do with sleep, but it's brands like Anson that allow me to continue to make content for you guys for absolutely free. Dozens of companies send me their products every month, and only the ones that I actually think are worth it make the cut. I used to have a bunch of normal belts, a belt for work, a casual belt, a fun belt, and my collection of belts looks something like this. But Anson allows you to mix and match straps and buckles however you want, so instead of having to buy 9 different belts, I can simply order 3 buckles and 3 straps, which gives me enough options for almost every occasion. On top of that, these belts are holeless, which means that there are no holes, no pulling and stretching of the straps, so your belts will stay looking presentable for much longer. On top of that, these belts are micro adjustable, which means you'll get a perfect fit every time. If you'd like to help out the channel, and if you're sick of dealing with old school belts, then I suggest you go see why Anson Belts has nearly 13,000 5-star ratings. Go to ansonbelt.com and check out their box set, which gives you 6 belt combinations for under $100. Alright, so let's get back to the topic at hand. The second thing you need to do if you want to be able to fall asleep easier at night is to lose weight. More specifically, to decrease your percentage of body fat. This is all because of the effect an overabundant amount of fat has on your hormones. A study conducted by Deakin University found that after healthy individuals ate a meal, their cortisol levels raised by just 5%, which is natural. They then looked at overweight individuals and found that after a meal, their cortisol levels raised by a whopping 51%. Like I mentioned before, cortisol has an inverse relationship with melatonin. This means that if you're overweight, you're going to be secreting a ton of cortisol right after eating a nighttime meal like dinner or a snack, and this is going to prevent your body from producing melatonin at night, which in turn means that you're not going to be able to fall asleep until much later. Being overweight also leads to another major problem, sleep apnea, which currently plagues over 18 million Americans. This is when you stop breathing for short periods of time while you sleep. This causes you to wake up multiple times throughout the night, which, you guessed it, makes you feel tired in the morning. The extra fat that accumulates around your neck has been directly linked to this sleep disorder, so that's another major reason why you need to keep your weight in check. You need to be adjusting your diet and start sticking to a fitness regimen to keep your weight at healthy levels, not just so that you can look good, but so that you can get get better sleep, which, funny enough, has been shown to make it easier to maintain a healthy weight. The third and final secret that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is to manipulate your body temperature. Like the hormonal clock, our body also has different temperatures throughout different times of the day. We are warmer during the morning when we are up and about, and cooler during the night when we are asleep. This means that our body needs to be cooler in the evenings if we want to be able to fall asleep. In fact, a study conducted in 1994 found that the most optimal temperature of a room for humans to fall asleep in is anywhere from 60 degrees to 69 degrees Fahrenheit, 15.5 Celsius to 20 Celsius. To show you just how powerful temperature manipulation can be, we can take a look at another study conducted at the University of Pittsburgh, which looked at a group of insomniacs who all had issues falling asleep. The test subjects were instructed to sleep on specially designed cooling mats that decreased their body temperature, and the results were shocking. The insomniacs, who usually took anywhere from 1 to 3 hours to fall asleep, were averaging out at just 13 minutes to fall asleep. That's even better than the control group, who was filled with healthy individuals. The healthy people took on average 16 minutes to fall asleep. That's how powerful manipulating your temperature can be. Now, there are a couple of ways you can do this. The first is, of course, to turn down the heat. Don't leave the thermostat on too high or the AC on too low. Try to make sure that your room is somewhere around 65 degrees. Another cool trick is to take a warm shower 1 to 2 hours before you plan on going to bed. This may sound kind of odd. Why are we taking a warm shower if we want to cool down? But it turns out that this actually causes your body to cool down just in time for bedtime. Another way you can control your temperature is by making sure that you have a high quality mattress that properly ventilates. A lot of cheap mattresses out there have too much insulation and get hot easily. Invest in a good mattress or even sleep on the floor and you'll find yourself being able to fall asleep much easier. And that's it, guys. If you get more sun in the morning, reduce your body fat, and learn to manipulate your body temperature, I guarantee that you'll find yourself falling asleep just like a baby. Try it out and let me know if it works for you. Besides that, guys, stay tuned.